Your source for news and information on money. Good morning and welcome to JoshuaGaming.com. Today is Saturday, November 5th, 2011. It's bank run day. And if you haven't already done so, go down to your bank and withdraw your money. Put it in a credit union, put it in your safe. Heck, put it in your mattress. It'd be better than the bank. And let's see if we can do some damage to some of these banks that aren't producing anything but that are sucking us dry with debt. We're going to talk about Europe. And we're going to talk specifically about Greece. We're going to talk about what's going on over there in the relation it has to us here in the United States. And what does Adolf Hitler have to do with any of that? We're going to talk about employment, specifically the lack thereof, unfortunately, during these tough times here in the U.S. Of course, we're going to talk about gold and silver. What would my show be if I didn't ramble a little bit about gold and silver? Then we're going to talk about college football, just real briefly. What's going on in Europe right now? Everybody's been probably hearing about it at work, in the coffee shops, wherever. It's nuts over there in Europe. You know, the Greeks, they're hardworking people, and they believe that they must earn a living, but their dependence towards social handouts has gotten out of hand, and their spending has gotten out of hand, and their debt has gotten out of hand so much that it's just destroyed their whole way of life. And if we're not careful, we're going to be in the same situation here pretty soon. The system that has created the problem over there in Greece and in Europe is the same as what's destroying us right now, too. And it's a self-destructive problem that leads to central banks. Our founders didn't want us to ever rely on a central bank, but, you know, we let that in. It got through legislation in beginning of the 20th century, and now we're dealing with it. Since 1821, that was when there was the last revolution in Greece. Greece has went bankrupt 5 times, and that's pretty insane. So they just haven't learned from it. But it's, like I said, it's been debt leading to unemployment, leading to social dependence, and when you get to that, you're pretty much effed. And so the way, you know, to do something about this, and this leads into my talk on the United States, and unemployment's getting crazy in the U.S. And so we need to do things to create jobs. We need to make it easy for businesses to get set up and running, and we need to make the taxes really just taken away so that entrepreneurs can flourish here and create jobs. That's what's going to attract an economy. That's what's going to attract production. In any market cycle, anywhere in the world, that's what works. You know, if the government really wants to help and create jobs, they need to back off, make it easier for the logistics of businesses to get up and running. You know, licensing, permits, all these kinds of things. I mean, the more free we can make it, you know, people, we're smart. We can look out for ourselves. We don't need government protecting us. Right now, we need to loosen the strings a little bit and let entrepreneurs flourish. And yeah, there's going to be the crooks out there. There always is. But that's part of a free market. We need to move in that direction of less government control over businesses and let entrepreneurs do what they do, create jobs, which lead to production and better the way of life for all of us and attract money back, cash flow towards us. If you look at the U6 number, which is it's underreported because it's the underemployed people. That number is 16.2%. The last number I heard for unemployment, if you factor in all the people that are not working, all the people that are underemployed, all the people that are have been out of work for longer than 6 months, if you count everybody that's strapped, is 23%. In this country, we have some pretty amazing companies. We have Nike with Jordan, Google. I mean, this is just naming a couple. Apple. Verizon, Walmart, and I know they import everything, and but they're American company. Chevy, Ford. We have professional sports. I mean, NBA, NFL, MLB. These are major markets globally. You know, NASA, and maybe it's has relations with the government. You know, so be it. But that's something we can be proud of. They've done a lot of cool things. They went to the frickin' moon. Maybe. Gold and silver. Got to talk about it. China is producing and net buying gold and silver. Sovereign wealth funds are buying gold and silver. Central banks, net buyers of gold and silver. If the central banks are buying it, you can be sure it's a good investment right now. Don't listen to people that say that every time the gold goes up, they say gold's in a bubble, and every time it goes down, they say, oh, the bubble popped. Don't listen to that. They obviously don't know what they're talking about. people who control the currency that is used as the driver of our economy, that is used as the driver of humanity, are buying gold. And they weren't buying real estate in the 2000s, and they weren't buying tech in the 90s, but they're buying gold right now. College football, I got my Ducks over Washington. That should be a pretty good game. Kind of a little rivalry going on there. And I got LSU over Bama. I like Bama, but I'm going for LSU in this one since they beat the Ducks on the season opener back in Dallas. The LSU-Bama game could be a preview of the national championship. I wouldn't be surprised if these two teams played again for it all. This is Joshua Gaiman from the desert. You have a great week.
And while even though you're gone, you still got love, my nigga, just rest your soul.